you got your mail, would you say I'm done after that?
Of course, 100%.
You know how sometimes fights get announced and we be like, damn, this the fight I ain't know we wanted?
Yeah.
I think this is one of those fights.
A lot of bad blood.
Yeah, but not just that. It's just a hell of a matchup because you didn't think you would get it.
What is the real reason behind this sudden call-out? A fighter inactive for over 2 years suddenly calls out Terence Crawford. Jermell Charlo says it would be an honor, but many see it as a desperate move after a poor recent performance.
I want all the smoke. I want smoke with Crawford. I want all the smoke. Give me the best. I'm in shape. I train. My lifestyle is on the move. Everything is great. So why the f would I want the best, man? What y'all talking about, dog? I don't got time to be playing with none of these people with these promotionals and all of these shit. I'm with the old school boxing. If they gave me an offer for Crawford, and me and Crawford, I talked to him one time. I'm excited. I'm so. It'll be an honor to get in the ring with him, not just today, just because of what he done in the. As becoming undisputed, he completed something that I didn't complete, and so being in the ring with Crawford would be amazing. I give him the best fight of today's era. I don't think that there's no other fight out there in the boxing world for Crawford to make right now. The best fight really would be me. The best fight with Boots is me. The best fight with Crawford.
Is this really about legacy or something else? Charlo describes the fight as legacy-defining. He respects Crawford but believes he can still offer his toughest challenge and says no other fight makes more sense.
They gave me an offer for Crawford, and me and Crawford, I talked to him one time. I'm excited. I'm so. It'll be an honor to get in the ring with him, not just today, just because of what he done in the. As becoming undisputed, he completed something that I didn't complete, and so being in the ring with Crawford would be amazing. I give him the best fight of today's era. I don't think that there's no other fight out there in the boxing world for Crawford to make right now. The best fight really would be me. The best fight with Boots is me. The best fight with Crawford is me. Obviously, nothing else, anybody else, Errol and Virgil and the winner of them, but I really don't see nobody else. What y'all want me to do in the game?
Is his past defeat still affecting his present decisions? Critics question his claims due to recent inactivity. After losing to Canelo, he made similar callouts, which many believe was to shift attention away from that loss.
Terence Crawford could be on a radar. I think he already probably been on Twitter, like lip wrestling with the internet, just to get some clout, some fans, and it's fine. But he's a champion, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more because that's what y'all want from me. Because Terence Crawford been talking shit, so they're gonna bring out a different animal in me, but I don't know which animal. But yeah, man, I can fight Terence Crawford next.
What really happened in the Canelo fight? Against Canelo in 2023, Charlo delivered a very weak performance. He landed very few punches, was dropped in round 7, and was heavily criticized for being passive.
How do you respond to him intentionally saying your name wrong? Because he said Zoo and then he changed
you know what? I
Zoo.
think he's that illiterate that he can't speak properly. I don't think he can. Yeah, I don't know. Like you can make him try say that word and Zoo, but he can't say it. Poor bloke.
Was he only trying to survive? Many experts believed he was just trying to survive the fight and never fully returned to competition afterward. The size difference was seen as a major factor.
Weight classes for a reason, Ray. It looked like Charlo really couldn't get off tonight against Canelo. What did you think about it?
It's styles make fights. That was hey, I appreciate the fight. I appreciate.
How did Canelo control the fight so easily? Roy Jones Jr. explained that Canelo executed a perfect game plan and controlled every key moment from start to finish.
He showed, he fought the proper fight for the proper opponent. When you fight a guy coming up 2 weight classes, you're supposed to bully him. If he'd fought Floyd Mayweather that way back in the day, we'd saw a much better fight. But he didn't. But he's learned now, and that shows you that he's improved, and he understands boxing more now because he bullied the smaller guy, which is what you're supposed.
Why did his punches have no effect? Al Bernstein noted that although Charlo landed clean shots, none of them had any real impact on Canelo.
Can't box perfectly every second, and it's hard to hurt him. You know, Jermell Charlo landed some really good punches, but they just weren't enough to hurt him. So
I expected them to battle for undisputed. I expected, a little small wage war, but it didn't happen. You feel me? Anticlimactic is what I would call it, because I just think Charlo realized early on that this wasn't where I was supposed to be, with this type of power, with this type of strength. So he kind of survived and made it to the end of.
Was the weight difference the real issue? Analysts agreed Charlo was strong at 154 pounds but physically outmatched at 168 against an elite champion.
I thought it was about as good as it gets. I thought that was a tremendous all-around demonstration of what makes Canelo Alvarez the greatest fighter of the generation. From the fabulous chin, to the very effective defense, to mixing power punches together in the middle rounds, to landing one of the best right hands he's ever thrown to knock Charlo down, and using a series of left hooks to widen the margin down the stretch of the fight. It was vintage Canelo. It's about as good as it gets. I think it was a one-sided fight because Canelo Alvarez is a historically great fighter. I mean, Jermell Charlo is a talented fighter. He's proven that in the ring. But once in every generation, maybe twice in every generation, you get somebody who is up here, better than all the rest. That's who Canelo Alvarez.
Was the fight already lost mentally? Critics said Charlo lost mentally before the fight even started. Crawford also stated that Charlo showed too much respect to Canelo.
Man, Charlo gave him too much respect, man. He didn't fight his fight.
What would you do to Canelo?
I don't know if he was scared or not, but, Canelo did a tremendous job in there. He did what he had to do.
Was it a fight or survival mode? Observers felt it was both a physical and mental collapse, with Charlo appearing satisfied just to reach the final bell.
Really disappointing fight, awful. I thought Charlo was just I don't know, it's like even when Golovkin fought Canelo, he never, in the third fight, it's like, I don't know, are you getting paid too much money? Have you got too much money? Because the special ones that have got too much money still stick it on the line. Canelo, AJ, but it almost looked like Charlo was like, I'm getting, I don't know what he got, 8 million, 10 million. And I was like, okay, it's almost like, let's not hurt each other in here tonight. Just gonna get our money. And it's like, all the talk about legacy, sticking it online. A lot of fighters go, I'd rather get knocked out, carried out, than lose on points. But actually, how many fight like that?
What did Charlo admit after the fight? Charlo admitted the weight difference affected him and said he felt dizzy after the knockdown, showing he was overwhelmed.
Are you interested at Crawford at 154?
Where we can make a fight at, I'll take it. I should be 1 or 2. I should be up there in the top dog. As long as I'm in the pound for pound, don't matter to me.
I'm not in competition with the Terence Crawford ring walk. I know that's what everybody trying to get the answer to. Came out with Eminem. That was some bad shit. Like, I ain't gonna front. That's some cool shit. And it's gonna be hard to beat that. He win. That's not my world. We don't get paid for that anyways. But I almost had like Lil Wayne or something. I had some people I've been in contact with. So we shall see.
Why did Crawford react so strongly? Crawford said Charlo only focused on survival instead of trying to win, and criticized his performance, later losing interest in the matchup.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. If he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see Crawford come up with some weight classes and show he's gonna be dominant at 54.
Do you think Crawford should go up to 154? Do you think?
Yes, Crawford definitely should go up to 54. And I don't think he should fight 47 anymore. 54 and maybe even 62 after that. He's big enough to do that, along with all the Charlo brothers and stuff. So I definitely would love to see him do that.
Awesome. Thanks.
How dominant is Crawford now? Crawford moved up in weight, defeated Canelo, became undisputed champion, and strengthened his position as an elite fighter.
Double fake to your right. Double fake to your left.
You.
Put your hand on your heart. Step back, rhythm. Step back, rhythm. Rhythm, y'all.
Still got some abs.
Double fake, double fake. Double fake.
So, as you see, the pound for pound king, the undefeated 5-division world champion, the 3-division undisputed world champion, superstar boxer, first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, Terence "Bud" Crawford, is still jacked and still in shape and sending a warning and letting the world know, I still got abs, I'm still in shape.
What is Charlo doing now? Crawford has multiple options as undisputed champion, while Charlo continues calling out big names despite long inactivity.
Comes to Bud, I think a lot of people took credit away from a lot of his wins. Like, I feel like when they kept throwing it out there that he didn't fight nobody.
Well, he did.
I disagree with that.
Look,
Anybody
you get in the ring with is a chance
to
lose. He didn't fight nobody that was on that level. That's what we say. So he fought somebody. But come on, bro.
I think he fought people.
Victor Postal.
That's a bad name.
That ain't a good. That ain't a.
During that
in
time,
order to say,
I'm saying during that time when he fought him,
he was overhyped.
He was overhyped. What? He had
Victor Postal is like this.
What's that
you know
dude
you
that
talk to
was
a
punching
boxer,
hard?
right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a boxer.
Victor Postal's like this.
A lot of people couldn't deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with that style. A lot of people can't deal with that style.
Can't deal with that.
A lot of people can't deal with that boxing style. He's jumping up in the air. He's a boxer, know how to use his range and his distance. A lot of people can't deal with that style.
That means the last 3 faces of the sport of boxing will have all retired undefeated. Floyd Mayweather, 50 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 wins by way of knockout. Andre S.O.G. Ward, 2-division champion, Olympic gold medalist, Hall of Famer, 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 16 wins by way of knockout, undefeated. Terence Crawford, 47, making 43 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins at least by way of knockout, undisputed, in the face of boxing. His story.
Is money more important than legacy? Eddie Hearn stated that Charlo is unlikely to accept serious fights and tends to demand very high paydays.
I think Bruce is a great fight, though. I'll give Bruce all the problems in the world. He's a great fighter. But I give him all the problems in the world. I think that styles make fights, you know, like, even with the Canelo loss and the Canelo fight, I believe Crawford did absolutely everything that he studied, and he did it right.
I feel like you don't like Jermell. And if
I don't.
You got respect for Earl. So if you did Earl like that, god dang.
I don't like Jermell for the simple fact that I feel he's a fake individual. I feel Earl is real. I feel he's genuine. I feel like he stand on 10 toes on everything that he say or do. I feel like Jermell is just one of those guys that do a lot for attention. I was cool with Jermell and Jamal and their older brother prior to me moving up in weight. You know, I got messages with he hit me up asking me he gonna pull up in Omaha, and we talking about cars, we talking about all different type of stuff. Once, you know, I moved up in the division, and I understand that they stablemates. He trained with Errol coach, and they've been knowing each other for a long time. For him to start bashing me and talking bad about me and saying I'm gonna get knocked out, and, you know, going out his way to say little slick about me, Why
is he demanding more money? Reports suggest Charlo is asking for extra millions for major fights, raising questions about his intentions.
I like the fight. I just don't believe he'll take it. You know, I mean, these guys, they just price themselves out straight away. And they go, oh, no, it's just my worth. So it's not your worth, mate. I know the numbers. And if you want the fight and listen, you'll be very well paid. But if you actually want the fight rather than want a payday.
What is Crawford focusing on? Crawford's team has rejected major fights and is following a more strategic career path.
Just whatever, guy. You get your paperwork right. Talk to Mr. Heyman. We'll get a fight going. And you're damn right, it'll be easier. Let's get a big fight going, matter of fact. And I'll show you better than I can tell you. Ain't nothing easy in the ring with me, so I don't. Just, you know, I'm grown. These kids, they just talk and just. He ain't fought nobody for real. You know, like he just got out of Tyrant contract because Bob didn't want his ass no more, so he just got rid of him. So it's just like I don't know.
What is Crawford's next move? Crawford may move down to 160 pounds and pursue undisputed status against top middleweight champions.
Look, they made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
Now, it's said and it's being assumed should I say, right? That Terence Crawford, after his move to 168, is now planning to drop down to 160 and become the undisputed 160-pound middleweight world champion.
How far is Crawford from history? He aims to become a 6th division champion and achieve undisputed status in multiple weight classes.
You have errol Lara versus Janibek, who's the unified champion. Lara's the WBA middleweight 160-pound champion. Janibek is the WBO and IBF world champion at 160. He fights for the middleweight undisputed title. He wins that title. He's now a 6th division champion, a 4 division undisputed champion. And he only had one fight at 168, one fight at 160. Got all knockouts at 147. That's historic. That's historic. And he's 39. He retires and walk off in the sunset. Same age Floyd Mayweather.
Does Crawford even need to respond? His dominance and career decisions already speak for themselves without needing a response to callouts.
True. It's somewhat true because he definitely a bigger name than all the guys at 160. I mean, Janibek, Lara, and Adames. He definitely a bigger name. And it's just an intriguing fight. And the fact that Bud did what he did, to Canelo, and Charlo looked the way he looked against Canelo, makes it an even more intriguing fight, because is it something we don't know about Jermell, or something we saw that we like, Jermell's a chump? Or is Bud just that good? You know what I'm saying? Now, if they fight each other, is that same aura going to come out that Charlo had with Canelo? Is that going to come out with Bud, or is he going to fight? That Charlo put it in the air, I think it's definitely realistic, and I think it's one of those fights. Bud may say, what's the point of me fighting him? But it's another body with a name. You know what I'm saying? Some of the names you can wipe away, and there's some names that's in stone. Charlo is in stone. So it's only one way to break up stone. You gotta get a jackhammer or some shit. You feel me?
What is the final truth of this situation? Crawford removed Charlo from his plans in 2023 and continues building his legacy while Charlo waits for big money opportunities.